Howdy gamers, this is Doc Flux, back with my second Let's Play. I like a good game, don't you? Well, that happens to be what we have in our hands right here with Ubisoft Montreal's gorgeous little gem based on the latest Rayman engine, Child of Light. This time around, I'm not going to webcam my face into the corner of the screen because my face is not half as pretty as this game. So ladies, I apologize in advance, but seriously, enjoy this view. Little Aurora here with the hair like Medusa, and that's the Marvel Medusa, wife of Black Bolt. And I say that because her hair seems to have a life of its own. Anyway, Aurora is an Austrian princess. She suffered an unfortunate demise that led her to this dreamy afterlife. And now she must traverse this delicately crafted world and find something. Actually, I'm a little hazy on the end goal here. Maybe she gets to come back to life. That would be nice. But right now she's having a conversation with what appears to be the classic kind of Harlequin, Jester. She is going to be the first party member, actually. The first one I've picked up because you can have somebody along with you to help in battles. And we'll get to see how that works pretty soon. So that's Rebella. I had just acquired this power recently of flight, and I figured I'd start it here just so you can see how that works. I acquired it after the first major boss fight with two beheaded statues who stole spears from the land of Dark Souls. You'll know what I'm talking about when you see it. But anyway, see, here's our first battle. Alright. And here's an example of the battle, rather. Rebella and Aurora are on the left here. You got a couple of creatures on the right. You see this little time bar down there. It's a cool, neat little way to handle initiative. Those of you who've played D&D, you know what that's all about. So really, it just it shows you who can attack and when, and that timeline can be altered depending on, the actions that you take. If you defend, you can hold out a little more and then make your next two attacks speedier. You'll take a look at the skill tree later on, but you'll see you open up different abilities and stuff, and then as the game progresses, I can see right now as the game progresses how fun it's going to be just to try and test out different combinations and different creatures, and the challenge will be there. Right now, it's fairly easy. I haven't died at all yet. But that's not to say that I'm not going to come into trouble later. In fact, the last boss fight I had, I was very, very close to dying. But that said, I feel like I probably could have put this on hard rather than normal difficulty. So if you're a hardcore gamer, you played a lot of JRPGs, you're really good at this kind of thing, you may want to jack the difficulty up. And I plan on playing this again, and when I do, I'll do it in hard mode. Oh, I found a rough sapphire.
What a crackerjack adventure! If I wasn't circus-bound with a bright career in my future, perhaps I'd stick close. Stick around? Sorry, chum, but I can't.
It's strange that she says that because she is with me for the next battle. They made it seem like she was departing. I'm not sure what's going on there. Flying around. I mean, look at this, guys. Come on, look at this. This is beautiful. So, they've incorporated a few different things. They've definitely done something great with the Rayman Legends engine, and those games are great. I love playing those games, but this is kind of an interesting experiment that succeeded on so many levels. It's you know, aside from being incredibly well crafted and artistic, you know, very painterly. It moves very fluidly. In fact, at times, I don't know if anybody remembers this game called Limbo, but it almost feels like a colorized, advanced next evolution of a game like Limbo. In a way, if you played Limbo, you may know what I mean. But there's so much more to it, obviously. So you got this. See that little guy floating around there? That is Ignatius the Firefly. He kind of acts as a cursor who can pick up different items and perform different functions on screen while you're doing your own thing. So, you know, you have two sticks on the controller, which, by the way, I've played this with a mouse and keyboard, and I found that to be a little bit better. I'm actually not sure whether or not I prefer the controller or the mouse and keyboard, because they both have their advantages. I kind of like the way that both of them feel. For the sake of this video, I'm playing with the controller. But try out the keyboard and mouse. You might like it. So you see these puzzles here. I mean, there's interactive elements of the environment that Firefly can light up, or, you know, do something to open up a door, to give you access to a chest. All that kind of stuff is what reminds me a little bit of the puzzles in Limbo. But in Limbo, you are very restricted in your movement. This is you flying all over the place, especially after you get that power, or after you acquire that power. It was fun enough just, you know, walking around on your bare feet, but this is even better. It allows you access to a lot of places that you couldn't get to before. Here's the skill tree. Bling, bling. Lots of skills and abilities to pick up. Leveling up has been pretty quick. And so I've acquired a lot of these upgrades pretty quickly. But again, you know, having played a lot of JRPGs and stuff like that, usually that does happen in the beginning, and then as the game progresses, it gets a little harder. It gets a little harder to go up levels, takes a little longer to acquire skill points, things like that. But the game does a really good job of kind of warming you up to its system, very gradually. And so the learning curve is, you know, it's good for all ages, basically. Here you got some potions and items, lots of different items and stuff that do different things. You can permanently upgrade stats with some of them. Obviously, a lot of the potions have your standard magic point and health point refresh, revival. Alright, here's another battle with these ghostly witch-type creatures and some kind of skinny flying dragon thing. So these phantoms or ghosts or whatever you want to call them, they are allergic to light, and Aurora has some light abilities that she can use to really bring it to them. They are weakest against those attacks. So here's Starlight. Zap, 31 points, she's done. So physical attacks wouldn't have done much with her. And conversely, the dragon in the back is probably going to require some smackdowns in the physical sense. Now, Rubella's main ability appears to be, it's called Tumble. She slams her little jiggly bell hat thing at her enemy, and somehow it damages them. Interested to see what else she can do later on, because you can build up your party as well. Those characters get skill points, and you can pump them up too, so there's some more depth in that arena too. In fact, Rubella is level 9. I'm only level 7. She's better than me. Well, she's better than the Child of Light.
What a peculiar shrine.
Actually, she would have an Austrian accent, wouldn't she? Not a British accent. Firefly kind of reminds me of Calcifer from Howl's Moving Castle. It's a Miyazaki film. Speaking of which, quick aside, this game was apparently influenced by Studio Ghibli stuff. That's, you know, Hayao Miyazaki, his kind of art style, and you can definitely see it in there a little bit. Now I forgot what the hell I was saying, what my point is with that, but it kind of combines all, like a Western and Eastern side-scrolling style. It's really its own thing. Very unique. Oh, right. I was talking about Kelsifer. Kelsifer was the little flame dude that powered Howl's Moving Castle. Ignatius kind of makes me think of him, but he's kind of a blue version of him. And Billy Crystal isn't voicing him, which, depending on whether or not you like Billy Crystal, is a good or bad thing. So we have this spider here. Spiders are pretty tough. They don't seem to have very deadly attacks, as far as I can tell. But they have a good amount of health points, so gotta chip away at them. Victorious music, guys. Come on. We love it. Ever since the Zelda days. There's something about that triumphant music at the end of a battle. It just gets you every time. Okay, these guys. They're like stone golem sketchy type bird creatures. Whatever. Gargoyle. They don't really tell you what they are. They give you the pictures. They don't say... There's no names to these creatures. As far as I can tell. At least, not on the screen. See? Starlight took her out in one shot, 35 points. Always use light-based attacks against phantoms, ghosts, any of those kind of more spirit-based enemies. Level 10 for Rubella. So it may seem like I'm wandering around here. After the boss battle, I'm actually trying to figure out where to go, but even more importantly, I'm going to try and go back into the beginning of this level because there were some secrets that you couldn't get to without the power of flight. Now that I've acquired flight, I'm going to go see if I can get into those nooks and crannies, pick up any chests or items that are there. Which is what, it's what you do. And in the Rayman games as well, there's always like secrets in hard to reach places that you can go back and try to discover. And that's one of the great things about those games. It's not so, linear and contained that, you can't find something to do later on in the game that you couldn't do before. And again, I gotta stress this, guys. Look at how nice this game looks. And this isn't even the most impressive stuff. I'll save that for you when you play it, but that I've seen so far. See, here's a chest. I couldn't get to that before. Now, there's this oculi system. Basically, you find these gems, and you can combine gems to make even better gems, and then use those gems to enhance abilities and weapons and things like that. So really, there's a ton of different options for upgrading, and while they don't seem very significant now, because the game does appear to be fairly simple. But again, I can see how it'll get more challenging later on, and all these different upgrades will either come back to help or haunt you. Those little flowers there, those glowing flowers, they emit some energy, mostly energy for Ignatius, and then it gives you a little bit of magic points as well. And they regenerate, which is interesting. See, now that I'm going back in the stage, these are some of the earlier enemies. This praying mantis thing that looks like he has a burnt marshmallow attached to a spine in his back. He's done for. Gave me a little trouble at first, now it's easy peasy. Let's see here. Magic upgrade. Definitely want to help my dodging. Dodging seems pretty important. Counter heal, interesting. Woo! Child of light, child of light, floating around with her hair all a swirl. She's a lonely Austrian girl. I just made that up. Call me, Ubisoft. You need a theme song for this girl. Oh, some poor soul is inside of a spider's cocoon. Here's another chest. Magic potion. That door is locked, so I should probably keep that in mind. So there does seem to be a little bit of a Metroidvania layout to this, in that, you know, certain areas are locked until they're not. So again, you know, these different, I guess you call them levels or stages or whatever, you can always go back to them and discover more as you acquire more abilities. From what I can tell. I don't know how many more abilities you acquire determine your progression, but we will see. Okay, here's a place I didn't get to before. Something tells me there's gonna be something good in here. Ow! Oh! Thorns. Okay. Looks like you have to gingerly float around here. Avoid those thorns. Oh! There we go. Rough ruby, I'll take it. That is Stardust. Permanently increase hit points by 5. Thank you very much. I wouldn't be surprised if you see this game pop up for as contender of Game of the Year later on. There's going to be a lot of games coming out, a lot of competition, but I mean, seriously, I haven't seen a game this pretty, this outright, you know, incredibly gorgeous in a long time. I feel like it's gonna stand the test of time, so by the end of the year it'll definitely show up on some top 10 lists. Alright, another battle here. It's just a phantom, should be easy to take out. Now, I'm calling them phantoms or ghosts or whatever. I mean, again, I don't really know. I would like for them to have names for these creatures so you can refer to them properly. I think that's one thing that I kind of wish that they would have done that they haven't, but maybe they have some source material that you can look at outside of the game to find out what these creatures are called, these enemies. Alright, I just fled because I didn't feel like dealing with that. So again, you know, what I'm doing is I'm backtracking and I'm just trying to find any secrets that I may have missed. But pretty soon I'm going to want to try and progress to the next stage or challenge. And here's where I acquired my power of flight after battling the 2 statues, which are gone. I destroyed them, but they were there on the left and right of that little platform there. And that was a stained glass window that I shattered using Calcifer. I'm sorry, Firefly's light. Interesting puzzles to solve with him too, because you can shine him on things, create shadows, or shine him through colored glass or crystals in order to project either shadows or light onto patterns or things in the environment. So anyway, guys, that is a first quick look at Child of Light. I might do some videos later on showing you some boss battles or something like that, just to help you out along your way. But all I can do is I can't recommend this game enough. It's great. I don't think there is a living soul or gamer who wouldn't enjoy playing this. So please check it out. And check me out on YouTube, subscribe to my channel, DocFlux, and of course visit rhymeswithgeek.com for all your geeky media and critique. DocFlux signing out.